Welcome to this week's series of reviews. Last set of reviews before Smithy goes away skiing in Queenstown, New Zealand.
Because you can't ski here, look at that. Middle of winter.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Killer.
Absolutely gorgeous. Well, without Ken this week, so we thought we'd do something special and good. We got 2 boxes of Montecristo No2s, KMM October 04 and Monte 2 TPG June 08. I've gone and broken up these two, or single cigar from each of these boxes, and we've worked out exactly proportions of wrapper, binder. We've worked out seco, velado, ligero. Surprisingly, very surprisingly, they're quite similar. Now we're going to smoke them and see whether what we have tabulated, what our assumptions are, whether it's actually going to be part of reality.
And the flavour.
And the flavour.
Just have a Colorado on that wrapper. Nice oil to it. Feels pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a good looking cigar. Better looking than the 08, that's for sure.
Mate, the 08 is the ugly sister, isn't she?
Good draw.
Actually, geez, yeah, I love Montecristo. You can tell a Montecristo from a million miles away. It was a bit rough.
It is a little bit rough, and I want to say feeling of burnt paper.
It had an initial burst of just some lovely coffee. Mine's actually becoming quite metallic.
Well, on the nose, before we lit it, I felt there was a metallic feel to it.
Yeah. It's my first cigar for a couple of days. I haven't had a cigar since Thursday. It's Friday. That one on Friday afternoon.
Friday. Yeah, that was the last cigar I had.
Shortly. Anyway, we'll come back to you at the end of the first third. Just under medium body. There are some creamy notes. Smithy said buttery notes there. There's just a slight edge to it, which is a touch metallic, which is not the norm. Which is not the norm within a Monty. What other comments could you make on that?
Beautiful burn, beautiful construction on the cigar first up.
Well, let's go through the breakdown. The weight of the cigar came in at just over 14 grams, which is spot on. The wrapper constituted 8%, the binder 14%, seco, which is where you get that creamy butteriness, is 36% of this cigar. The volado, which is effectively your burning, the leaf which handles the burning aspect, that's prime responsibility, is 14%. And ligero is 28%, where a lot of your mongrel, a lot of your intense flavour comes from. We're looking this to be predominantly a seco cigar. You take seco and volado together, you're talking about effectively 50% of this cigar. And that's what we're getting. It's something that's just...
That creaminess.
Just under medium, just under medium there.
Beautiful burn.
Yep. The flavours that we're getting, it completely reflects the blend
exactly.
that they've put into this cigar here. Interesting, when we come to the next Monty from 08, we found that the ligero on the next Monty represents 39% of the cigar. So we're just about to find out whether the second cigar should be a lot stronger, or should be medium full compared to this one here, which is just under that medium aspect. It is settling down to be quite a nice cigar.
Yeah, it's quite enjoyable. Just that sharp edge is probably the slight drawback right on the back of the palate.
We'll come back to you into the last third and then do a wrap up on the cigar.
Beautiful cigar.
It's actually turned out to be a great cigar.
Lost that sharp edge on it, and as I was saying, just beautiful Monte 2 characteristics. Beautiful coffees coming through, that slight spice on it. Just great memories of good Monte 2s. I'm putting it 91, 92. Yeah,
I'll go 90 on this one here. You don't want any more in the Monte 2?
No,
it is milk, coffee, tobacco.
Beautiful tobacco.
Beautiful tobacco. And milk coffee. It'll be in its best in 3-4 years time. So 10 years.
10 years on it. Yeah, exactly. Through that cigar, just looking at that breakdown of percentages of the tobacco content.
Yeah. You can see that seco is dominant by seco.
Totally. It's a balanced cigar, and you can see those milky, creamy characteristics are stronger than your spice characteristics.
I'm sorry to see it go, but go it must. As I think we touched on at the beginning of the reviews, it's an ugly duckling, isn't it?
It's not pretty. I got some green splotches on it. Garget would have returned this for sure.
Very, very mild.
Yeah. It's not there. Geesh, it is dry out here at the moment, isn't it? That wrapper's just cracked already.
Perfect dry, mate. And nice, clean tobacco flavour.
Dry tobacco flavour. Beautiful draw, construction superb.
We found again the weight was identical at 14, just over 14 grams. We had the wrapper identical at 8%, binder identical at 14%. Volado on this one here was 14%. Exactly the same, yeah, exactly the same as the 04. The only two factors which were different in this cigar is the Seco component is reduced to 25%. Previously it was 36% in the 04, and the Ligero component on this cigar is 39% compared to 28%. So what we should see in this is a medium full.
Medium full, bit more spice.
Yeah. Now, assuming there's a couple other factors here that we need to take into account. One is the relevant value of the tobacco crop that they're using in that year. None of that opening bitterness that we had with the 04.
No. Very smooth beginning.
No spice through the nose, neither did the 04. Into the first third of the June 08 Monty 2, exactly the same body profile as the 04 Monty. What it's lacking is depth of flavour.
Yeah, complexity of flavour is not there.
That we didn't have in the 04, that we had in spades in the 04 Monty.
I'm only getting a light bit of cinnamon coming through.
A little bit of nuttiness, but it's lacking that cream, that butter. It's lacking that core flavour. Why a blender? Why his role is so sacrosanct within a factory? Because it can't be an easy job.
No.
A flavour profile you are trying to achieve, to be true to mark, to be true to Vitola, you're dealing with different tobacco year to year.
Our theory is that they've upped the Ligero content to bring it up to that medium body flavour, medium body power,
which they've achieved.
So it's similar to the first one in that body content, but it's lost the flavour because of the reduction in the Seco content.
Seco is where you get the creaminess. Seco is where you get the butter. Seco is, to me, probably the most important of all the filler leaves. By dropping the Seco component, we've lost. We've simply lost completely.
That complexity,
exactly right.
Layers of flavour is missing in this at this point in time.
It has improved slightly. It's a good, solid cigar. It's medium body. But it lacks.
It lacks the complexity of flavour. That year with the Ligero tobacco must have been slightly lighter in its, in its power, that they've had to up that level to bring the cigar up to medium.
And I can understand why they've done that. I mean, you're talking about a blender. He's doing a loose roll with wrapper, and he's smoking it. You're going, I can't produce a Monty 2 that's too damn light. I must get to medium body. You can only sacrifice so much. The wrapper's designated, the binder he's got to use. So really, he's got to work out the proportions between Seco, Ligero, and Volado. Volado, he needs a certain minimum percentage. We've worked out the Volado was 14% on both cigars, which is what you require. And both cigars burn superbly well. In this case here, he increased the Ligero to get it up to medium body, because that is his main. He can't produce a light cigar. He's got to go a medium-bodied cigar, but he sacrificed. He sacrificed some of the complexity and flavour. Which is what Seco brings to the table. Seco brings that butter. Seco brings that cream. Seco brings the nuances.
Still a very good cigar. I'm going to give it an 86. But it's...
I'll go 86. Well, let's improve 86, 87 on there. But it's been an interesting exercise just to go through. It can't be an easy job. It must be a difficult job. That's it for this week, guys, and for another week, because we won't be doing any reviews next week.
Just we're being very strong. We haven't opened the red brooches.
And it is 20 past 11 in the morning, so...
That look like the ugly stepsister.
Some of the best sex you've ever had with ugly women, Smithy.
I'm trying to think of an ugly chick I've had sex with.
You lived in Townsville for 2 years. What's the chances? There's only 2 attractive chicks in Townsville. I mean...
I did both of them.